Here we go. Hey there. Welcome to a moment in time where I'm going to, well, let me do a little disclaimer. And I know it must be frustrating from the outside looking in when I start a sentence and then I rewind before I even get to the point. So bear with me though, because it's a delicate topic and I need to handle it as such. This is a video I've chosen to make not while live for various reasons, but I just wanted to share. And the disclaimer that I wanted to add, first and foremost, is I'm okay. Please, nobody be overtly concerned. And I just wanted to, the platform, having a voice, especially one that can be heard, it's a blessing. It's something that I don't take very lightly. I'm sure some people think I'm maybe reckless, and that's not without merit. But be that as it may, and please don't get this twisted and sideways. I am doing this as a means of catharsis, and maybe somebody will hear, because I read a beautiful comment. Perhaps I'll open it up and read it. It was of the last video I did of the father and husband who unalived himself. Freaking hate these code words with a passion. So I'm going to read something I wrote today, probably elaborate on it. There's no fancy bells and whistles. There's no graphics, thunder, and logos slamming at you. Okay? And I want to say a big thank you to CanCon and everybody that came out to visit last night. That meant the world to me. I really do have fun, and it did reignite a passion I have, which is paying attention, closer attention to bigger picture issues in our country, in the world. So, another disclaimer to anybody that is somewhat new and expecting more of the same or similar as content. We've just scratched the surface. There will be plenty more of that, but I also do dabble quite a bit with mental health, being that sometimes mine is not at its best. So let me enjoy my tea here. So while at work, I decided to, I don't know, I was in deep thought today. I woke up not feeling at my 100, and I don't know. Let me just spill what was apparently on my mind for a spell. And this plays out time and time again. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Maybe this is the process of learning to live and live with it. And coping is that it's always a journey. And sometimes you have to learn, no matter how insane it is, to learn the same damn lesson almost daily. Sometimes just getting that same lesson in can have some value. So I titled it "How What I Loathe Saves Me." So there's more to it. Okay. Tell on me time. Okay. This amazing duality of not only building up in my mind how much I don't want to go to work. This is a daily struggle. I'm sure people can maybe empathize. I mean, we get it done. We get up. We go. We do what needs to get done, right? And just like when we were kids at school, we took that for granted. I'm sure most of us hearing me say that at this moment feels that way. I specifically feel that way. But, the day prior, the night prior, I'll be like, damn, man, I don't want to get through this, or I don't want to do this, that, and the other, and I'll already build up a negative day that hasn't even occurred. So identify that. I shouldn't be freestyling. Stick with the letter. Okay. Or focus on every negative aspect I can, which I'm certain feeds any depression I may be going through. I was diagnosed with bipolar 1, whatever that means, and from time to time, I definitely get a hit of the depression. It is seemingly hitting me on the weekends, and that's all on me. I need to learn how to micromanage my time better and smarter and be accountable. Be a fucking adult. So the depression, which flares during my idle time. I get pretty low on my isolation or during isolation. You know, you build it up in your head. Oh, I got the day. I'm gonna just lounge out and like watch movies, video games, and then just I feel it building slowly, where I just start feeling like shit. I so I gotta word this carefully. Sadly, I think of this. This does occur, and I want to. It shouldn't be something we should be afraid to discuss. Otherwise, you know, what's the purpose of a platform, right? And I'm sure maybe there's risk about talking about this. I don't care. Just like talking about the topics that were spoken about last night needed to be spoken about. Okay, elections matter. Everything we talked about, our representation matters. But this is not the political hour here. I notice when I get at my lows, when I'm depressed, I will like flippantly, meaning not deeply and sincerely think about it, about unaliving, okay? But like at sometimes I wonder, do any of you empathize with that sentiment where you just kind of in passing start briefly thinking, man, you know, like wouldn't that just be a very quick solution? I mean, this is not. I'm not trying to pass that off as any kind of solution, but you know, I guess in the throes and the selfishness of your own mental suffrage, you know, yeah, flippantly from time to time, I will just think about it for a couple minutes or something, and it passes. You know, when I was in my 20s, that I would really obsess about it. Quick story time. There was a lovely woman that I knew from Canada. She came to visit me. We met through LiveJournal and that page I had on Facebook years ago that shut down. We just, you know, we fell in love while we were in different countries. And she came to visit. We had a lovely time, crazy connection. And I told her something that really pissed her off. And it was her reaction that sticks with me to this day. You know, sometimes you need those outside perspectives and reactions to show you how crazy or stupid we are while we're so busy self-sabotaging and justifying our shitty thoughts. I said, look, so ignorant and stupid. I said, look, Jessica, I dated many Jessicas, so I can use that. At 30, I just made this decision where I'm just going to, you know, knock out, check out. She was very upset because she had dealt with that in her life. So pissed. I think she punched me in the chest a couple times. Thankfully, as we can see, I'm 8 years ahead of that age, but that really pissed her off, something fierce. Anyway, okay, sorry, I got lost in story time. So yes, I think about it sometimes, and this talking about it helps. Maybe I should be talking to a therapist. I know sharing these things, like when I set out to do whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, I wanted to share everything and find a connection with others. I feel like we're in an age that's oversaturated with just so much hyperbolic, you know, anything, opinions and false information, and with the mainstream being what it is, and yeah, I don't know. I wanted to always be transparent and share everything I went through in an attempt and in a hope to find others that would maybe benefit, that could help, or that could be helped. That was an aspiration, still kind of is. I'm still keeping in touch with some people. I don't know if I'm doing much good, though. I don't mean to be depreciating myself, okay? And please, I'm not trying to paint a picture like, oh, feel bad for me. I'm just sharing, you know, my real day-to-day. This is what goes on in my head. Okay, so let's get back to where I was. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. So from time to time, yes, in these fleeting moments, but what never ever ceases to fail is work comes. That thing that I built up that I think I hate so much, it comes. As work inevitably does, right? Like our responsibilities. It comes around. I'll hate getting out of bed. I'll think about how I have to take an antidepressant every morning. I hate that. So that's another thing to compound into things that aggravate me and take me to a low. And I'll think of not returning home for 9 or 10 hours or however long it may be. How I won't do whatever I think I'd be doing if I wasn't working. Yet every single damn time at work, I slowly start to feel way better than I did with the 2 wasted days of isolation and procrastination. I'll feel sharper because I'm out there doing something. I have to pay attention to things, focus on things. Um, and distracted, yes, as I said, from my demons or whatever the case, from my own personal hell. I will be completely distracted. I gradually find myself just generically content as I can be. What was this? Find myself just generically content, far happier than I ever would be at home succumbing to my own active self-sabotage. Embrace that which gives you purpose. You know, I see a lot of people that they retire and then they get back on the workforce. I more and more I see older people around here in Florida stepping up and taking entry-level jobs. I knew somebody who just recently finally retired. I always asked him why, because he was always so frustrated. He'd throw a mop at the wall or something. I'd be like, bro, why do you stick around? He's like, because I don't know what else I'd do. My kids, they're older, they've moved on, and I stay by myself. I'm alone. I hear that more often than I don't. And so I guess I'm seeing maybe a part of myself. It's making me reflect. If I'm starting to understand, well, maybe no, this is more of a human condition thing that I'm starting to empathize and understand. There are people that just I understand it. Even if you don't need the money, you can make a purpose, find a purpose, and that's a powerful little lesson. I can reinvent any purpose and start anew. We continuously, every day, no matter the damage done, we can reinvent ourselves and strive to be better than we were the day prior. Clean slates are a hard thing to aspire for, but we can tread forward, march forward, and we could try to do better. And just in general, I hope those of you that have been along for the ride, for the good, the bad, the ugly, that y'all understand this side of me, and this side of me I feel gives me a special insight with anybody else that feels these things, that are afraid to talk about it. I hate the stigma. I absolutely despise it. But there needs to be places where talking about mental health is okay and without fear of judgment. I had stats opened up, but nothing here is new. It's depressing. What was it, in 2022 alone? 703,000 people ended it. And for every ending, there's about 20 other people making an attempt. This speaks to me in volumes about, just, I'll never understand. More power to you, to the people that say YouTube, without being a superpower form of income or streaming, is their job. More power to you. I would not be able to survive just doing this. So I'm not judging or crapping on your happiness. I just know it could not work for me. Therefore, ergo apropos, I'm thankful that I work, which makes me even more confused at, how many people are unemployed willingly, apparently, by that last statistic I cited from the quote by Mark Rowe, Dirty Jobs. 7 million willingly unemployed people. I find it hard to believe, but I cited enough. I gotta do some research. So, okay, that's it. That's all. I hope this message finds, no matter who you are, finds you well, and that no matter what has ever happened, we don't have to ever get along, but I just hope in general for everybody's kind of happiness, or finding some form of being content, and finding whatever it is that brings you love in this life, a passion. I wish that for all of us as a species. And then, okay, videos after this and lives, it's going to be more of the issues I keep on finding within our country. Because not to make this political again, I just feel that we pay far too much attention with our monies, that could be put to so many good resources here within our own borders, is being just siphoned to other places. But that's a rant for another day. Just remember, if you can empathize with anything I've shared, you're not alone, and it's important to remember that. And that's why sometimes it's nice to hear a voice. And maybe you've heard something that you also empathize with, I hope. Good night. Take care. I'm going to go isolate now. No, it's dinner time. It's been a long day, and I'm exhausted. Much love. Good night.